Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. My name is Sean Walchef with Cali Comfort Barbecue, and we are recording above the butcher shop in Spring Valley at Valley Farm Market. And I have my partner in crime back, Derek Marso. Welcome back from Alaska.
Thanks, man. It was an eventful journey to get back here on time. I haven't slept in 48 hours, so it's been pretty exciting. But I'm back. I did not get eaten by a bear. Although it was very close, and I'm stoked to be back, man. Got a lot of construction going on right now, so it's probably not the best time for me to be away, but I'm happy to be back and start whipping these guys into shape to get the fuck out of my parking lot.
Well, the coolest thing is I told you we were hopefully going to have Moe Cason, our guest, on today, and for you to hustle your way from Alaska overnight to get here on no sleep to run into construction. It's why we do what we do. We love our craft.
It is. It's exciting. It's exciting to have Mo be able to come out here. Exciting for us to be able to get down here from Chickaloon. It's a long. Shit. I was in Tok, Alaska. Drove 6 hours to the cabin. Drove 2 hours to Anchorage. Flew overnight just to get here and haven't slept. But it's well worth it.
Well, I know that I appreciate it because as much as we would do the podcast no matter what, but I love having my partner in crime. Welcome back. And most importantly, America's Finest Barbecue Championship. We actually have Ed Laval here, who came on this podcast, told us how they're putting together this incredible Kansas City Barbecue Society event on Mission Bay, first annual event happening this weekend. And we're so lucky that Moe Cason's coming out here to throw down.
Man,
what up?
What's up, man? How you doing? How you guys doing?
We're doing
we're
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
I tell you what, man. I used to be stationed out here in the Navy back in the day, man, when I was a young sprite. And it just warms my heart to be able to come out here and cook. This is my first time cooking a cook-off here in San Diego. Just coming out rolling through town from the airport and just looking at the old buildings and how it's all the new stuff that's been going up.
It's a lot of new shit.
It's awesome, man. Yeah. It really is pretty, man. All the buildings, man, and all the areas that when I was back in the day, a bunch of tattoo places, little dive bars, and now they're nice big old buildings with glasses.
Yep.
And it's just nice, man. I just had a great. I'm just looking forward to this weekend. The backdrop, this is probably going to be one of the top places for me to cook off as far as scenic.
Sure.
You got the ocean right there.
Unbelievable.
On the beach. Come on, man.
Mission Bay. Beautiful.
Can't get no better than that, man.
Absolutely. How long were you here? How long were you stationed here?
I was stationed here I was in Long Beach for a couple of years, and I finished my last 2 years down here in San Diego.
Okay, so now you can actually see the progression that's been going on down here in San Diego.
Yeah, last time I was here for a KCBS banquet. They held a banquet here, the annual banquet
That's
here.
right.
Back, and
I think that was Gene's doing.
Yeah, that was back in the day, and then before that it was just when I was in the Navy.
Right.
Yeah.
So now where are you located exactly right now?
Born and raised, cornfed out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Man.
They don't have the scenic like San Diego, but you know what? There's something magical about cornfields and hogs and cattle.
There is. I went to Kansas State and I was out there for 5 years in Kansas. We got to play out in Iowa at Iowa State, not Des Moines. And it was beautiful, man. I absolutely love it. And just getting back out to the scenery when I was in Alaska, just seeing the open fields, all that type of stuff, man.
I love that.
So
I love the ocean.
Yeah.
I love the cornfields. I love country. I really do, man. That's kind of my MO, man. I love getting out there. I love hunting. I love fishing. I love barbecuing.
We do some whitetail out there.
We got whitetail. We ain't got no meal back in Iowa.
Yeah, we did whitetail, and we had some muleys that would come over from Colorado on West Kansas, and we get some nice muleys over there. But whitetail, and they eat so good.
Oh, shoot. Man, we got horses. Right. Now, I got friends of mine that got ranches down in Texas, man, and they got these beautiful, genetically engineered deer, whitetail, and muleys, and they got these incredible racks.
Like 80 point.
But they're the size of dogs.
Right.
I mean, they ain't got no. You come to Iowa, man, we got some corn-fed deer, man. They're like horses.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
they may not have the big racks. There are some.
Right.
But, man, we got horses for deer, man. You hit them with your car, you got a Prius, you're done. You just dig a hole, Prius, you're done. Now I got a big old Dodge diesel on semi-wheel, so they're done. No matter what I hit,
you're good.
It's a wrap.
You're good. No, yeah, we've we've done some hunting out there, but you are right. Those whitetail out there, I mean, they're corn fed. They eat the corn. They
soybeans,
and they taste so fucking good.
Of course they do.
It is so good when you harvest a deer out there. I mean,
back straps,
backstrap, get a little tenderloin.
Get some Moe Cason beef rub on them.
There you go.
That's it.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, we get the rounds and we make jerky out of it and dehydrate it. Man,
you get that beef rub on there, man. You can make jerky out of that beef rub too, which is awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Y'all have some this weekend, man. Come on, check it out.
There we go.
You're gonna come chase that brisket. You're gonna see what I'm talking about.
So how many competitions have you competed in, and how many countries?
I've done probably since 2006 over 300.
Over 300,
and I've competed all over this great country. You know, from California, Florida, New York, Oregon, North Dakota, Texas, all over in the middle. The South. I love the South. I love cooking. The way I cook is more Southern style.
Sure.
You know, my grandmother had 17 kids, and she was an awesome
17
cook.
kids.
Yeah. And all that progression came from the South. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just love it. I just love getting out there and cooking, meet new people. If the contest is ran well, I'll come back.
Right.
Generally, you know, but there's certain contests I'll come back every year if I can. But I'm the kind of guy, I like going to new places. Just like your first time saying it. I just love it.
Yeah.
I love that experience. I mean, and that's why one of the main reasons why I went and joined the Navy. Because I wanted to see the world. I knew, sitting on my driveway at 17 years old, asking myself, what am I going to do with my life? And at that point, I was just a high school kid.
Sure.
And, you know, all my uncles and stuff worked at Firestone or Titan Tire, you know, and there's always striking up and down, you know. You know, there's always drama going on, you know, working at, you know, plants like that, you know. And I said, what is a job you can have that no matter if it's recession, whatever, you're still turning on your faucets and you're still flushing your toilets. Yeah. And that was water treatment. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
I went in the Navy, steam boilers for the USS Missouri battleship out of Long Beach. Went to Desert Storm.
Wow.
Lovely ship. Went to A school out in Illinois, Great Lakes. Top of my class, got first pick of orders. That's how I got to Missouri.
Okay.
And then we decommissioned her after Desert Storm. And then there's a second ship I went on, which is the Peleliu, and that was stationed out of San Diego. Wow. And that's where I finished her up at.
Wow. Well, thank you for your service. San Diego, obviously, it means everything to us. Being a town.
It's a military town.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely.
It is.
And some of the closest people that we have on our Behind the Smoke team, they served. And JC and Bill.
I give people who serve the people, police officers, firefighters, Coast Guard, the military, hats off.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to do it.
Yeah. First responders.
You know, when I worked at midnight shift every year for 20-something years, we always had the police scanner on. And I'm telling you, man, I give mad credit to the police officers and firefighters because they're walking into situations that are completely foreign. They're walking in a house that they don't know. They don't know what's going on, and they have to get out there and squash it.
Right. Yeah.
And so I give a lot of credit for people who serve people.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I serve people, and I still serve. For 24 years, I serve people.
And you still serve people because you serve them great barbecue.
Damn right.
When did your love for barbecue start?
Man, back in the day. Back with my grandmother, man. Yeah, man. My grandma had 17 kids.
Yeah. 17 kids.
And then you could tell all the cousins from top of that. So every weekend or all the time, especially during the holidays, we're always at someone's house burning some food.
Doing something.
Getting busy. And, you know, and that's the thing that I learned from my grandmother. My grandmother watched me and my sister a lot because my mom worked 2 jobs. She was a seamstress. If you know about that sweatshop, that's what she did her whole life. Yeah. I mean, that's just grunt work. You know what I'm saying? You get proficient at something, piece rate. They just bump the piece rate up for the same amount of money. You know what I mean? My grandmother watched us a lot. So seeing her passion for cooking from scratch, that's what she did. She was a poor woman, but she was rich inside for who she was. And she loved her kids. She loved her grandkids. Cooked her ass off. Yeah. I mean, seriously. I can still taste everything she used to make. Her pies, her food, her fry bread, her food. You know, unfortunately, a lot of my aunts and uncles, they just never wrote anything down.
Right.
Do you remember when you fell in love? Like if there was any story of something that she did that really...
Well, no, because how we grew up, how my grandma... She cooked to feed.
Yep. Okay,
it wasn't all about Food Network, or not taking nothing away from Food Network. They're great people.
Correct.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It was all about just feeding people,
Absolutely.
man. You know what I mean? That's all it was. It wasn't about trying to, ritz and glitz, just put food on the table, man. But she just did a great job.
By observing her, you learned.
I learned the flavor.
Yeah.
Like my mom, when I was coming up, she would cook something and she would say, "Taste this." I don't care if I was 8 years old. Right. Taste this. And I would taste it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, Mom, this and that, give my opinion." And she always did that to me. She would be cooking something and she'd say, "Hey, taste this." And so that's where my passion of cooking came from.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm a self-taught cook, so I mean, my grandmother and my mom, they didn't have time to be cooking briskets and shoulders, right. And you know what I mean. They were quick pork steaks, ribs, chicken, stuff like that. Stuff that was quick.
Yep. Something you can grill, flip over real quick. And get done.
I mean, and so, but as I start competing in 2006, that's when I start. I cooked my first brisket in 2006.
Do you remember your first contest?
Yeah,
Where was it at?
It was in my first contest was at the Pork Barber Colossus, which is no longer. It was a great contest in Iowa. It was all pork category. It was held in conjunction with Pork Expo, which still goes on today. People from all over the world come over to Des Moines, Iowa for the Pork Expo.
Yeah.
So they had a pork category. It was all pork. It was whole hog, loin, shoulder, and ribs. And that's what you had to turn in. And it was a KCBS, loosely KCBS sanctioned thing. Obviously because they didn't have brisket, they didn't have chicken. But they still counted it towards, I think still counted it towards the jack. And so, for me, when I got out of the Navy, one of the first things I bought was a little Brinkman smoker out of Walmart, and I just started burning it up in my backyard, cooking, doing what I love,
burning shit and figuring it out.
You damn right.
Yep.
And it was a neighbor across the street named Kelsey Jones, and he barbecued, and he had like a little offset pit, which was better than what I had. I had just a little Brinkman, but he never catered my food. He'd come over and brag ribs and brisket, and I could tell by looking at his stuff. I'm like, man, that stuff. I didn't say nothing to him. But I was like, man, it looks raggedy, man.
I got you.
But I just kept cooking in my backyard, and then all of a sudden, I remember he really, really a braggadocious dude. I mean, I just happened to one time give him a rib of mine, and his whole face was like ghost face. Just
boom.
That's when I knew it was son.
That was the aha moment.
Yep. So I had the little starter house when I got out of the Navy. A friend of mine owned. It was just a little bit of 800 square foot little ranch house. Just bought it for $25,000.
Wow.
That's how it was, man. And my family, I had my wife. We had our first little baby, Montgomery, which is 22 now. And so I wanted a smoker, but I worked at the water plant. They didn't have no loose cash around. Hell, we paying food, paying bills, bouncing checks. That's what we were doing.
Right.
So all of a sudden, we got this little house on the corner, and I still had that other house. And I said, only how I'm going to be able to buy a smoker is I'm going to have to fix this house up and sell it. This other house, that was my first house. Mm-hmm. So I gutted. Now I got homeboys that carpenters, electrician, plumbers, all my boys, man, I know in the industry. So even though I paid them straight up, I took a year. I didn't go to the bank. I didn't borrow any money. Probably because my credit wasn't good enough to do that. But I financed while working at the water plant a whole year, and I sit there and I remember swinging a hammer in that wall, and I said, "Is this the right thing for me to do?"
Right.
And I just said, I gutted the house down to bare studs. And I took a year. I went to Habitat for Humanity, bought brand new cabinets that were donated by some home builder, ceiling fans, scratch and dent paint that someone mixed up they didn't like. That house, I bought the house for $25,000. We lived in it for a while. I gutted the house down to bare studs, and brought that house back. Went to Lowe's, got a scratch and dent refrigerator that the dent was on the side, just going to slide in.
So it didn't matter. No one's going to see it anyways.
Man, I sold that house, set on the market for 1 week for $89,900.
Amazing.
Nice.
Son.
No way.
When that realtor brought me that check, I was like, oh, yeah. Capitalism, baby.
That's right.
And I went and bought me my first smoker trailer, man. That was
That's
Little Blue.
amazing.
And now when people talk to me, my smokers are always called Little Blue or Big Blue. That started from that. My first trailer was a blue trailer with a smoker on it. Didn't have any sides on it. Just had a roof and a little wing in the front, and it just had an old Hickory SDLX on it. That was my first cooking. I cooked on anything for 3 or 4 years. Actually, for 4 or 5 years, actually, until I had enough money to be able to get to the next level.
Wow.
And I bought, all my trailers were always blue, and that's the reason why.
So
my first trailer happened to be by default.
Right, you just bought it and that's what
and
it was.
I said, now that's my thing.
That first contest, was that before or after the remodel? Because did you go to the contest?
I didn't do anything until after I got that check.
So after you got the check, then you went to
2006 is when
time.
I did my first cook-off. And I remember rolling into the Barbecue Colossus, and I seen people like Johnny Trigg and Meyer Mix, everybody there. You know, and you see them on TV. And I don't get like starstruck or anything because I'm a pretty humble dude, but I don't get, it's just not me.
Right.
But I see like 100 teams. It used to be 100 teams just come to that cook-off. And then when I was there in 2000, it was 100 teams.
Right.
And all the smells in the air and all the different smoke and all the different smokers and stuff. And I'm just like, man, this is where I need to be. I've never seen nothing like that. Because at that point, it was just in our backyard.
Right.
And I cooked my first cook-off. I got DQ, my only DQ, at my first cook-off.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't go to cook's meeting. I'm like, why do I need to go to cook's meeting? I thought the cook's meeting was like trying to learn how to cook. I'm like, I already know how to cook, man.
Right.
So why do I need to go to cook's meeting? So all of a sudden, the rep comes walking up to me and she goes, you back then it was called Ponderosa Barbecue. Ponderosa, yeah. I said, she goes, we're gonna have to DQ you for an entry. I'm like, why? Your pork loin entry. I said, why? She goes, did you go to the cook's meeting? I go, well, no. I didn't know I had to go to them. She said, well, if you went to the cook's meeting, you would learn that you have to turn in enough for 6 judges. And I said, there is enough for 6 judges. She said, no. You need 6 portions.
Right.
Yeah.
Individual.
I just threw like 3 pork loin chops bone in.
There's
I
enough
thought they were just going to cut off of it.
Yeah, right?
There's enough for 8 people.
But I learned real quick.
Yeah.
They don't fuck around.
We learned real quick, too.
They do not fuck around at all. We just getting into it, we did our amateur competition. Then this is our 3rd year for our Del Mar one. And the rules and regulations, they have to do it that way. They have to make sure they have to have their, certain things that they abide by, because if they don't, things can just go away. And then but it's good. I mean, it keeps people on track, and having people like Gene and Arlie brag, and that will let people know what's going on.
Yeah, they got a lot of history. They know how to run stuff. They've seen a lot of cook-offs, and that's what when you got, that's good.
Right.
That's good.
So you did the pork. Did you turn in your ribs? How'd your ribs turn out?
Oh, they were money.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time,
right?
I thought it was money. I have slowly progressed.
Are you still using Old Hickory?
I have an Old Hickory. Actually, I'll be in St. Louis next weekend for Q in the Lou. I've got I got a big rotisserie. I use this for vending now. Uh-huh. But that was my primary cooker back in the day for competition.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I have learned a tremendous amount over the years. My favorite cooker now is my old stick burner, which I had built in Texas. It's a Rockin' W cold piece.
Yeah.
It is
thick gauge steel.
It's a 1969 Hemi.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super B.
There you go.
426 Hemi, 4-speed. That's what that is. That cooker is, and
She's
that's
true.
because of cooking a lot of different cookers. I can cook on all type of cookers. I cook on 2 center blocks in the rack because I'm self-taught.
Right.
Yeah.
I sat in my backyard. I can't tell you how many thousands of pounds of meat I've cooked over the years trying to perfect my craft. In the kitchen, making a mess, making sauces, making rubs. You know what I mean? And because I'm that guy. I'm stubborn in a sense that I want to do me.
Yeah.
I don't just get on the same bandwagon as everybody else, which is fine.
Sure.
Because there's great products out there and people buy and use and they win. Mm-hmm. But there's something to say that for me, I always felt like if I walked to my grandmother, she was standing today and said, Mom, I paid $700 to go to this guy's class on a barbecue. She'd probably smack me.
Yeah.
You did what?
You did what? Why would you?
You better get out there and cook and learn how to cook.
I'm very, very big on experiences.
Oh, experiences on me.
When you can go out there, I can tell someone how to cook a brisket all I want, but they have to go and fuck up some briskets first.
You have to burn some shit up.
You have to do it. It's inevitable, and then you can figure. And your palate's going to be different than my palate, and that's okay. But figure out what you like.
I mean,
and run with it.
Exactly. And I know what I cook is great. Mm-hmm. I cook like I would be. I love Texas. I started cooking Texas maybe 6 years ago. Love it, and that's when my eyes really opened up, because up to that point I'm from Iowa. Mm-hmm. Even though there's a lot of great competition cooks up there, they're 4-category trick ponies. I mean, they do 4 categories well because they have the model.
Yeah.
I get out of Texas, you go to those great barbecue smokehouses, and you go down and you see them people just doing stuff they've been doing for 30 years, 40 years.
Right.
And you taste that food, and it's just like, that. It speaks to you. And I said, you know what? That's how I got to cook.
Right.
And that's what I learned about salt, pepper, garlic. You know what I mean? I mean, I got one of my beef rubs, which is great, which is selling like crazy. People love it. But I like seasonings that complement the protein.
Yeah.
You know, and you start getting off to the fringes, you know, that's when things kind of get muddled. And that's fine, is what it is. Like, I was out in New Jersey and did a cook-off over there. And great, Jersey Shore. But you turn a brisket in there like a Texas-style brisket, they'll kill you. And they did. Right. They killed me. Right. But I'm walking the walk. This is who I am.
Right, absolutely. We talk about it a lot. Sometimes simplicity is the biggest thing you can do. And when you break things down, I got in my own way when I started doing briskets. I would do briskets and I would try to overthink them. I would try to do way too much. And I'm like, Jesus, it's just not fucking turning out the way I want it to turn out. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, 10 years ago, speaking with Gene, he's like, well, what are you doing? And I'm telling him, he's like, man, cut it back. Just relax. Like, here's what you got to do. Try bare minimum. And then start adding a few things that you like.
There was a great contest that's no longer around, but it's called the Great American Barbecue Battle in Kansas City. It was out in Bonner Springs. And there's a lot of great Kansas City cooks that won, like Mark Grieco, a friend of mine. And I remember I had a very complex brisket rub. It had dill seed in it. It had all kinds. I mean, because I'm always in the kitchen messing, you know, oh, this is good. And I remember him tasting it, and he looked at me and he goes, Mo, the judges are just basically like farmers. Keep it simple. Take all that extra bull crap out because that's not what they want.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did that, the dill seed, the whole mustard seeds, you know, all that, then all of a sudden my score is like,
start going up.
Yeah.
Cook. You know, that's like I'm not a big fan of sugar on brisket. Right. Now, granted, in competition, KCBS or whoever we cook, like especially not Texas, but like in KCBS, you know, the guys are putting glazes on briskets, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? I was over in the Netherlands 2 weeks about a month ago. Cooked on a Green Mountain Grill.
Okay.
And I'm stubborn, but I'm not stupid. You know, I know how to make adjustments.
Right.
Okay, because if you're just that stubborn, then you don't need to be doing competitions.
Sure.
Which Tuffy told me that. Because me and Tuffy are brothers. And we sat there and debated at the bar at the hotel. I was like, he said, why are you cooking then? Because I like cooking competitions. But it is not my job to find out what these judges want. That's not me. When I make my own stuff, why am I sitting there chasing my tail trying to find out I don't even know you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cook what I like, and then you go ahead and judge it for what it is. Now, if it's in being 25th place brisket, so be it.
Yeah.
But I can walk with my head high. Whenever I get that top 10, it's me. You know, the other guys, they do all the other stuff, which is great. They find out by so-and-so, use this, and this is what's going to happen. That's great. This is fine.
Yeah.
But for me, I cook the way I always cook the way I want to cook.
Have you always been a one-man team?
Always been.
And how many, as in your experience with all the contests that you've done, how many one-man teams are there?
They're out there. Like my buddy
percentage-wise.
that's had great success. Prairie Head Smokers, John Neal, just great guy. One-man team. Mm-hmm. There's teams out there that do it. You know what I mean? A lot of guys will have a wife or a friend come over. And I have no problem having a teammate. But the problem is, when I first start competing, when Moe Cason's ready to roll, I can't be here. Oh, my dog is sick. I got to watch my kid. Right. That's a wrap. I do me. So I know that no matter what, I can always count on Moe Cason. I just came back from a Finning Festival in Danville, Kentucky. I brought my daughter to help. She runs my cash box. And the festival that I'm doing next week, and then I did one last weekend, I had a small footprint. A lot of these guys have restaurants, so they'll bring a crew, a bunch of people in. I don't do that. Like the one in Danville, I told the organizer, you got to get me bodies. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. You want Moe Cason ribs, you want bowl cuts and whatever, you got to give me bodies. And they got me. They got me bodies.
Right.
They're like, well, I got to pay them. Well, you got to pay them.
Right.
Okay?
Do what you do.
I end up having a huge line because my stuff is good. Right. No, that's what it is. That's just business. Yeah. So I've always been a one-man team, and if I can rely on myself, which I do, I got to do it. Granted, there's times I would love to have somebody drive the truck home. There's times I love to have somebody watch the brisket or feed the pit. Because like my stick burner, Little Blue, once I fire her up, I got to add a stick every 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay? To the end. I've got gravity feed cookers. You can load them up and go to sleep and get all this. No. When I fire up my stick burner, I have got to be there to the beginning to the end. But doing that has taught me how to manage. I can cook in subzero weather. I can cook at 114. and I know how to make adjustments.
Right.
That is experience.
Yeah.
If you go out there and you go to somebody's class, and I'm starting to do classes now, which are great. Education and knowledge is a wonderful thing, and I got nothing wrong with that. I'm just one of them kind of guys that I was stubborn. You know what I mean? I didn't cook my first Wagyu until, hell, that was probably 6 years into the game. I went out to do a doubleheader, Meridian. I did one out in Utah, and then I went up to Boise, Meridian, I think it is, right where Snicker Front is from, actually. And I did a cook-off, did a doubleheader. Up to that point, man, I've always cooked prime. You know, I just want to go, I'm not paying so-and-so, just stubborn.
Right.
And I was at that cook-off, and a lady came up from Snake River. I didn't even know who she was. She came up to me. She goes, Mo, how you doing? I'm like, fine. She said, I want to give you a brisket. I'm like, well, I got a brisket. She goes, why don't you try this brisket? It was a Wagyu. And I'm like, okay. So I had enough injection to do 2 briskets, so I did my rub, and I cooked them things side by side. I know my prime, because I know them at the back of my hand.
Right.
But I ain't never cooked a Wagyu before. I cooked that brisket. I got done. I pulled them briskets out. I sliced that brisket off that Wagyu, and it floored me.
Yeah. It's something special.
It floored me.
Yeah.
And that's the stubbornness where it's a detriment, you know, because I'm going to tell you what, no matter when you're competing in this game at this level, you got to play with the big boys and you got to cook what they cook.
Yeah.
Period. You can't come in there and say, well, I'll take my select Walmart brisket and I'm going to whoop your ass. You're a damn lie.
Right. You ain't doing
Because
shit.
as long as a person has a superior quality piece of meat, he could just put salt and pepper on it, and it's going to walk all over that damn select brisket.
Yeah.
Because marbling is flavor and moisture.
Yeah.
And that brisket opened my eyes to, wow, this is what next level stuff is.
Yeah.
One of the things, we have a lot of people that listen to this podcast that they want to start they're on their barbecue journey, and wherever they are in that process, we always talk about process. And one of the things that we encourage people is to always be learning, to get involved, to stay curious. Tell us kind of how you came about knowing about the Pitmaster show and your audition tape, and take us back to that journey.
For me, I was at a cook-off in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, walking back from a cook's meeting, and Johnny Trigg was in the next aisle from me. So we just happened to be just walking together back to our cook sites. And they just did season 1. That's when they went around the country and mining on guys. And he looked at me and he goes, Mo, you going to put in for season 2 Pitmasters? And I didn't have no clue. Because I worked and I was like, what do you mean? You gonna put in an audition tape? I'm like, dude, I don't know nobody. I ain't got no connections like that. Because I always think there's always a connection.
Right, yeah.
It's always somebody knowing somebody. I said, I don't got no connection. I said, he looked at me and he goes, man, you need to put in for it. You got a great personality. And I'm thinking, well, thanks, Johnny, but he grabbed me. He literally physically grabbed me, pulled me right up to his face. He's like, put in the audition, Mo.
Really?
That's exactly what he said.
Wow.
So I said, all right, man. When I get home, I went to my car wash, the truck bay wash at my plant that I worked at, water treatment plant, where they wash the dump trucks.
Uh-huh.
I did my audition tape in the wash bay.
Who filmed you?
Me with my iPhone.
That's awesome.
I did that.
Was that your first? Was that your first video?
I did the first one,
Was that
and I
your
sent it
first
in.
Selfie video.
And this is the time where I was taking my wife in to get her tubes tied because we just had our 4th child.
Oh, really?
So I was just like, I sent it in, and then they contacted me in a week and was like, man, great video, but the quality was poor. Because it was all amber lights, murky vapor lights, so it was like really amber and dark.
Right.
And she, can you send another video in? And like have someone hold the camera for you. I'm just like sitting there talking, yeah, man, you need to see big Moe Cason on this. So I had my wife come out to the back of the trailer, a Big Blue, and I just did my little spin. I kept it real, man. I just talked about how I want, I'm a self-taught cook, and I don't get caught up with all the, all the hula. And they called me like within a week. Was like, man, we want you on the show. I'm like, cool. So I went on the show out in Calabasas, California.
Yep.
Beautiful place. Paramount Pictures on that lot, and we went out there. The same place they did that vampire TV series, True Blood, I think it was.
True Blood.
And so she said, if you see people running around in capes and back, that's just we're filming. I said, all right, cool. So I did it. I won my episode, which was amazing for me because I just cook from the heart. I really do. And I cried. You didn't see it, but I mean, I won my episode and I went behind my trailer, man, and I sat down and I cried. And I still get goosebumps about it.
Because you gave everything you had.
Because I thought about my grandmother, my mom, my family, and it was awesome, man.
Yeah.
So to this day, still, it bothers me, man. It's awesome.
I think that's...
And it's been nothing but great since then.
Right. There's a vulnerability to that that draws people to you, though.
John Marcus, the executive producer, came up to me. And I was pissed at first when I lost the finale. So I made it to the finale.
Yeah.
I'm going against Johnny Trigg, Melissa Cookson, Craig Kimmel Firehouse, somebody else. I think, somebody else. And I lost. I felt like I didn't get a chance to really showcase. I cooked a beautiful hog, I felt, and they just let that thing burn up on the pit. They just didn't even, just, you're done. And I'm like, oh, man. And my family already knew the outcome because I won, they already knew the outcome because I called them and my wife. Even though when that episode came out, even my wife and kids were on the couch crying.
Yeah.
Crying,
Feel it.
Even though they already knew the outcome and they seen it, they just cried. And I was dejected, dude. I mean, I was just beside myself. And I was walking back to my trailer, man. And Myron, I knew Myron. He knew me, but, I didn't really know him. He knew. I knew something was up when I started looking at those guys and they couldn't look me in the face. I mean, Myron look at me and then he would look off. Warren Sapp would look at me and kind of look off. I'm like, oh, snap, man. I'm about to get it knocked off this show, man. Yeah. I just knew it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, but Myron is such a great guy, man, that he got up off the stage. I went on my trailer, started putting my stuff away. And the first person that came up first was John Marcus, executive producer. And he came up, and his first words out of his mouth was, Mo, you're absolutely beautiful on camera. He said, I know it doesn't feel good right now. He said, you just keep doing you. He said, I'm guarantee you, he said, you're going to have plenty of opportunities in the future. He said, I'm telling you, man. Just keep your head out there and don't act crazy. He said, I'm telling you, man. And I said, yeah, you ain't trying to hear that because you just got knocked off the show. It's the competitive spirit in you.
Sure.
And then he walked away, and then Myron got up and walked up. He didn't have to do that. Myron got up off the stage. Myron's he's a buddy of mine. He got up off the stage, and he walked on my trailer, man, and he put his hand on the shoulder, and he just started talking to me, man. He said, this ain't the last week we're going to see Moe Cason. That was his exact words. He said, I'm telling you, man. He said, you got something, man. He said, yeah, this ain't the last. And lo and behold, after that, I ended up being on Pit Wars, ended up being asked to be a judge on Pitmaster, smoked. And it's just been great, man. So awesome. I just, but just me.
Ride the wave.
I don't even look at it. It's just who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get on TV and it is what it is. But if I have never been on TV, if I ever get on TV again, that's fine. You know what I mean? I always kept it real.
I'd love for you to talk about barbecue family.
It's family is where it's at.
You hashtag in all your posts barbecue family.
And this because whenever you're at a cook-off, whatever you're doing, there's times I've had blowouts. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the side of blowout. You got small money. Working at the water plant, taking care of 4 kids. Sure. There's times where I didn't have enough gas money to get home. But my passion for cooking was that strong. I'd had to call my wife. Can you Western me some money, $60? Because I miscalculated the headwind.
Yeah.
You look at the phone, it's going to be 12-mile-an-hour headwind going in this direction. I mean, that's how much I calculated to make this cook-off. Going out to North Platte, Nebraska. Coming back. Oh, snap, man. I used more fuel than I thought. And there's a couple times I had to call my wife. Hey, can you Western Union me some money? And she would give me the right eye. You shouldn't be doing a sport. You can't, blah, 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 blah. And I told her, man, I got home. I love my wife. But I told her back in the day, I said, you know what? This is going to be a time. This is going to be time. This is because I believe in Moe Cason. She said, I believe it, yeah. It's going to be a time that barbecue is going to go full circle.
It's going to pay the bills.
And lo and behold,
to
this day, proud of you, baby. Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't hear about that back in the day, but I'm going to let that go.
Right. Yeah. Tell us about the business of barbecue. You sell rubs, you sell sauces.
I sell rubs, I sell sauces. I was at the World Championship Jack Daniels. I got invited to go there. At that cook-off, I kind of got off subject, but the one in Meridian, I won that cook-off. And that was the only cook-off
champion?
in Idaho. So it got me into the Jack.
Sweet.
And so I went down there with my family, you know, and we just kind of took it in, you know, and I ended up getting second place sauce with my sauce. And that's when I said,
That's a tough fucking business, though.
Fuck yeah.
Sauce
It's a tough business. It's a tough business and a tough business for Rub. But I'm telling you what, here's the thing about it. Is everybody and their mom wants to put a sauce out. Everybody, their mom.
Yep.
You know, but I tell you what, I'll be for real. When you build a brand, and that wasn't I'm just being me.
Right.
I got this beautiful group called Verge to help me. But everything up to this point, I'm just post a picture of me cooking at a cook-off. But the hardest thing that you can do, because everybody and their mom wants to have a restaurant, everybody and their mom wants to have sauces and rubs. But I created a brand by itself. You know what I mean? It just blossomed.
It was you.
And people
Authentic.
are willing to invest in you and buy into you because of what they're like. Seriously.
Yeah.
And business always starts off with friendship.
Yeah.
That's what it is. When someone wants to get into business with you, it's because you're friends with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can go off on a lane, but they have to see something. And so Academy Sports came out to me. Well, I ended up getting my sauce bottle. But to that point, I'm just, you know, I'm not really pushing it that hard. I'm making some, blah, 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 you know. But I had a friend of mine from West Texas, true hardcore Texas dude named Steve Forcran. Still a friend of mine, great friend of mine today. And I worked at the water plant midnight shift, and all of a sudden I get a text from him. He goes, seeing that I just won second place sauce at the, you know, Jack Daniels. And he goes, how come you don't got this stuff bottled? And I said, dude, I got 4 kids in the household. I can't afford it. I don't even know I haven't even inquired what it takes to make sauce. I don't know. He goes, well, I'd like to help you. And the reason why he did that is because he came earlier and emailed me and asked me. I was at the American Royal cooking, and he asked, you mind if my son and I come up to Texas and come up from Texas to come see you? I said, yeah, man, come on up, man. That's how I am.
Right.
And he came up, it was rainy and drizzly, it was cold, you know. This is when the Royal was held in October. And he's 6'7" dude, man, big Texan, man. True, clean cut, West Texas dude, man. Deep voice, big dude, man. And he goes, he's sitting there talking with me, and I was going through my turn-ins and all that kind of stuff. And I had some ribs, I gave him some ribs and everything. Oh, I said, these are great, you know. He went on and went to go see if he could talk to Tuffy and Myron and Johnny and them guys. And he came back and he's real clean cut, man, real, like classic Texan, man. He said, thank you for your hospitality, man. He said, you know, thank you. That's all that. He said, my son and I are going to head back to Texas. I didn't know who he was. Well, I got an email at the midnight shift. I got an email from him, like an email asking, how come your stuff's not bottled? And I said, I got small money. What are you talking about? I don't know why. I can't afford it. You know, I don't know what it costs to get stuff bottled. He goes, we'd like some help. And I'm like, I'm from the east side of Des Moines, man. So I'm thinking, what do you mean help? He said, I'd like to help you, man. I said, what do you want?
Yeah.
I don't want nothing, Mo. I just want to help you. He said, the only thing I ask in return is you give me a signed bottle. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, I'm dead serious. He said, I'm going to tell you something, Mo. Out of all these pitmasters that I wanted to see, I'm not taking nothing away from my friends.
Sure.
But he said, it was cold, it was dreary, it was raining. You took time for my son and I, and you talked through your turn-ins, as you were doing turn-ins, and you took time from us. He said, and I really, really appreciate that. And I was like, oh, man, you know, just be, you know, that's just what I am, man. I'm just Mo, man. I'm, you know. He said, I'd like to help you if you let me help you. I said, okay. What are you talking about? He said, well, how much do you need? And I said, I don't know, maybe a couple $1,000. I have no idea.
Right.
Because I've never really inquired about it. He said, can I send you $20,000? And I said, what? He said, can I send you $20,000? And I said, man, what ties? I told you, Mo, no ties. I just want to say you're good. I like you, man. I like what you're all about. And I said, okay, cool. The next day, no joke.
Wow.
I got a FedEx envelope, dude. Open it up. Check for 20 G's.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's how I got started with my sauce.
Unbelievable.
And to this day, we're best buds.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I've been out there, his house. My family's been down there. He's got a cabin out in the Krakow, New Mexico. He's true blue straight up West Texan oil dude.
Right.
Just salt of the earth.
That's amazing.
And that tells you barbecue family.
I think that exactly what you said, barbecue family. I mean, I got goosebumps you telling that story. Those are the things that happened to me and happened to Derek with Gene. I mean, Gene would tell me, "Hey, come out to this contest that I'm running out in Harrah's," and he would. I'm guessing he tells a lot of people that because we were interested in turning our restaurant into a barbecue restaurant, but I needed advice. He was the one that did it. I don't know a thing about barbecue. Going out there, meeting him introducing me to other KCBS reps. It was always, what can I do for you? Never asking for anything in return.
That's barbecue, man.
And that's just barbecue family. I mean, we see it happen at our amateur barbecue contest, at our professional contest. I mean, whatever we can do to help drive the sport and to help each other.
That's what it's all about.
It takes a passion. It takes a burning passion and hospitality. Exactly that. I mean, having the hospitality in your blood, knowing that no matter what, I know I'm competing, but all I care about is you passing your health inspection.
98% of barbecue guys. That's what I love about barbecue. Are given great folks.
Yeah.
That will help you out no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about the sport. That's what's so great about the culture. Because barbecue was developed out of pure necessity to feed people. Yeah. This was. You started from the South.
I got caught up in our last competition, letting that 5%, 2% of people get to me. Being an organizer, I mean, Ed can probably realize this now.
Ed's already worried.
We get these, there's a few but we cannot let those people bring you down because, like you said, it's 95, 98% of the people are so genuine, so good, and they believe in the saying that a rising tide lifts all ships. Let's all go together and make great barbecue. Let's do it together and be good.
The percentage, those 2% people out there that are haters, or those people out there that don't understand the culture of barbecue, don't understand it, they exclude themselves.
Yeah.
They exclude themselves by being
you go
selfish.
To a cook-off, don't nobody want to talk to them. Don't nobody want to deal with them. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because they care about themselves.
But when you are for real, genuine, you'll always have barbecue family. Those individuals that are very small and few. Like I tell you this, and people, barbecue world is like a 12-inch ruler. Competition barbecue is like 1/8 on that ruler. So the individuals that have a lot of success or they become full of themselves, they don't understand the big picture. Right. That's why the barbecue shows. All barbecue shows is all about promoting the backyard guy. The guy to go out and he sees the show, she sees the show, they want to go out and they get a package of ribs or pork butts and try to emulate what they just saw. Right. Once they succeed at doing that for their family, from what they were doing, you got a fan for life for barbecue. Because now you have helped them something they can pass on to their kids and their family for generations.
Just like your grandma.
And that's what it's all about. It's not about, I got 15,000 grand champ. Who gives a rat's? Nobody care about that but you and your immediate family.
Let's break bread together.
That's what it is. And so it's all about promoting the culture of barbecue because it helps everybody.
Well, you think
Books,
about
salt, rubs, equipment, everything. Everything is all intertwined.
What else brings people from every race, religion
together
more than barbecue?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We live.
You don't talk politics because I learned that quick.
Right.
Barbecue and politics do not miss. I learned that real quick because I have my things of what I think.
Right.
Not granted, I got my guns and all that kind of stuff, but you might not know what I like.
Right.
But I'm telling you, that don't mix.
Right.
So I learned people start. I've been in the counter. Come on, what do you think about so and so? Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear nothing about it.
Right.
That's not what I'm here for.
Right.
And they keep it moving.
If
you're going to talk and ask me, I want to hear it. Keep it on. Kick rocks.
Yeah.
I got time.
We just had a team meeting for our store. And when I was speaking to my team, I have about 42 employees. We were talking about stop worrying about the macro on everything. Stop worrying. Donald Trump's a piece of shit, this and that, whatever. Worry about being a good person. Mm-hmm. If everybody fucking does that, don't worry about race, religion. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
That's
be a
exactly
good person. Right. Everything's going to work itself out.
It's it.
It will work itself out.
Exactly.
Stop worrying about all that shit. You can't even do anything about it anyway.
You know what's great about the thing about my passion of cooking? I've been through everywhere. I've been in the hills of Tennessee and met some of the best people in the world. in the hills of Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia. Man, come up and give you a big bear hug because they know what you're about.
Right.
They know what you're about. That, to me, warms my heart. I go to Dyersburg, Tennessee, man, go do a cook-off. That's in the sticks, man. Lady runs, she does the post office. I had a guy come up to me. She's trying to get her route done. She's about 60-something years old, man, running the rural route. Comes up there, man, first thing he does, she gives me a big bear hug. Don't know me from Adam to Adam. That's barbecue right there. Right, I love you, big Moe Cason. I love what you're all about. I love that you're self-taught. I love you start rambling off. Just to hug me to about what you want to break my ribs. You know, that's barbecue family right there, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's because barbecue speaks everything. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no color barriers. They don't see that. They don't see color barriers. They don't care whatever. You know, that's not what it's about. It's about family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If Moe Cason can cook one meat, his favorite meat, what is it?
Brisket.
That's it?
That's my jam right there.
That's your jam.
Now, I'm Iowa. I cook a killer hog. I kill a pork. Last 2 years, top 10 at the Memphis and Maine World Championship with my team.
Yeah.
I tied for 4th last year, lost on a computer coin flip, got 5th. My pork is outstanding. But
your favorite's brisket.
When I start cooking in Texas, when Texas hooks got in me, son, my boys like John Lewis, there used to be a lot of barbecue. He has his own place out in Charleston. When I start tasting true what brisket's supposed to be about, I was like, it's a wrap. Beef ribs and brisket, that's my jam.
Back ribs? Beef back ribs or short ribs?
Short ribs or back ribs. Yeah. Or, plate ribs.
Yeah, plate ribs.
Yeah, hell yeah. I knock the hell out of bark on some of that.
Dude, it's so good.
And I developed my rubs for that.
Well,
my rubs are bold. They're not, I call them punk. They're not punk rubs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do this hocus pocus, and you taste the rub, and this is kind of like, my rubs stick with you. You don't need no sauce with my rub. That's how I develop them. Because that's how we grew up. We may not have enough money to get no sauce. Here's the flavor. Eat it.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. Barbecue sauce is a compliment. It's not something that should overpower your meat 100%. To where all you taste is sauce. It should be the quality of meat, a little rub, a little bit of smoke, and then if you're going to put sauce on it, it should all be layers of flavor. If you taste anything that all you taste is sauce, or people, back when I was growing up, man, people I knew boiled ribs, they needed to be shot. How you going to take ribs? And that's what they did because they didn't understand barbecue. I'm from Iowa. So they would take ribs and put them in a pot and boil them,
dude,
to get them tender. You might as well throw away the rib and drink the water because that's where all the flavor's at. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
That's straight up.
A lot. We see it here in San Diego. One of our biggest goals, Sean and I, is to figure out how to create a West Coast movement for barbecue because it's always been known that California was lacking in barbecue. We're out here trying to show, hey, we ain't no punks. We know what we're doing. Yeah. And that's what it's about. A lot of these barbecue places here would boil their ribs. They would all of a sudden you go there and they're barbecue places. Say, where's your smoker at?
Yeah.
Well, where's your wood?
We don't have it. Well,
you ain't barbecue.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're putting it in an oven. Okay. You're boiling shit. Yeah. So now there's a movement out here. We got a lot of good places out here that are doing amazing jobs. And we just want to lift everybody up to do it together and just keep that movement going.
That's one thing I learned about Australia, which I love. They don't know nothing about boiling ribs because they already have a rich history of grilling. Shrimp on the barbie. Right. They know how to grill. And making that transition to low and slow they are eating it up left and right. They're just because you know what? I've done that festival the last 2 years. I'm going back again next year to do it. There's nothing but a plethora of offset stick burners that they've made with their own hands.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I walk down and just rows of stick burners, dude. And I don't mean like some junk. Nice stick burners, nice welds, nice design. These guys are making these kick-ass pits because they're seeing what's going on in America, and they are embracing everything that's good about barbecue. Seriously, man. So I mean,
it's going around the world. It's catching.
It's
on
global,
everywhere.
man.
It is.
You go to Sweden, they got a barbecue restaurant over there.
Norway.
I was over Sweden last year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You go over, and they're doing low and slow. I mean, they're doing low and slow. One of the dudes got one of Aaron Franklin's old pits. I fired it. I cooked on it all weekend. Yeah, badass pits.
So, competition, what are you cooking on?
My good friend Jason from Green Mountain Grills, which is the son of the owner of Green Mountain Grills. I'm cooking on 4 GMGs.
Okay.
And they're great. I'm going to tell you how good they are. I was in the Netherlands just not even a month ago for a cook-off. Tuffy was over there. My buddy from Barbecue Guru, Bob Troneck, was over there. Sweet Smoke Q, the boys out of Florida over there. Byron Butt Rub was over there. So, I'm cooking on some Green Mountain Grills. I fired the pit up. Now, I know I can cook a mean brisket on Green Mountain Grill. I can cook a lot of mean stuff on there. But I've got them at home. I know how they work like the back of my hand. I didn't make the translation to Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you something, dude. No. You guys are going to laugh at this. This is how good Big Moe Cason beef rub is. And Big Moe Cason process is on brisket. I fired this Green Mountain Grills up, and I set it at 230. 230.
That's not good.
Fahrenheit, what I was thinking. Completely spaced it off.
Burning.
I had a cot, an army cot right next to the cooker that I was sleeping on. Within an hour, it's called for pellets. It's like, I'm thinking, what the hell? I just filled it up. Didn't make the connection, dude.
Did you make it right then?
I got up. No, I got up. 4 more pellets in. My brisket was cooking at 465 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's unbelievable.
I'm going to tell you how good them Green Mountain Grills cookers are. I scorched the bottom of that brisket, but it was Wagyu brisket.
Right.
I got 5th place brisket.
Did you?
Wow.
Damn it, son.
That's amazing.
I looked at Bob, and that was the worst thing I thought I did the whole day.
Right.
I took that brisket out. I put it on at 10. At 2:30, it was done at coming up on 4. Rocket. And you know what? Because they run so smooth, that thing was at full tilt, and they just run good. The brisket was looking good. And then about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm thinking, man, this thing is smelling too good. Wait a minute.
Thing's done.
It's smelling too good. So I get up and I wrap it. I made the connection there. I was like, well, wrapped it up like I do my process that I wrap it up in. Put my pearl back in. I reached my internal temperature like I normally would do at cooking on my stick burner. That thing was off the pit by 4:30. I put it in the Cambro and I said, it is what it is. Right. Turning wasn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that thing sat from
10 hours later.
Oh, dude. I pulled it out. I said, don't nobody open up this Cambro. Just let it do its thing. I took it out my butcher paper, and I have a butcher paper foil mixture that I do. And Bob, I looked at it, and the bottom of the brisket was like, and I was like, damn. But the top of that brisket looked good. I'm thinking, man, this looks like it got that bark on it. And I'm touching it at the top, and I'm thinking, man, this is pretty good. I was surprised.
Got that feel still?
So I took that brisket down below, and I took my brisket knife, and I cut the char off, the hard part.
It's like you're skinning it, like skinning a
fish.
fish.
Then I skinned that stuff off, and I put some rub on it, threw some sauce on it, flipped it back over. And I normally don't sauce my brisket, but I said, I'm over in Netherlands, so, they don't know nothing about Texas. Right. So I sauced the top of that brisket, sliced it, beautiful smoke ring. That smoke ring was like that, dude. Beautiful. Literally 1/4-inch smoke ring, if not bigger, all the way through the whole slice. Beautiful. And I sat there and looked at it, and Bob was like, dude, man, I don't know, man. I might do something with this, man. He looked at me over and said, let me taste it. He tasted it. He goes, dude. He said, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, that is good. 5th place brisket, dude. Couldn't believe it. Awesome. That's how well them little cookers cook. So now Moe Cason's going to start playing around at 400 degrees.
Start searing his brisket.
But I'm going to put the brisket up on an elevated rack so it's not directly on the grate.
Sure.
But, but a lot of guys have already been doing that, cooking those Green Mountain Grills. They're cooking them briskets at 400 degrees.
Gene used to.
Yeah.
Gene would always tell me he'd go real hot.
But I've never done that before. Yeah. I never cooked the brisket that hot. But it was not outstanding, but it was great brisket. I was shocked. They called me 5th place brisket. Tuffy and them guys just start rolling. They were just, I even took the microphone from the dudes. So I'm going to tell you what happened. And I just broke it down, and all the Dutch people, they were laughing, and they were like, wow, But that tells you how good them Green Mountain Grills cookers are, man, because I took that thing where I've never took it before.
Maxed it out.
Yeah. Full tilt.
Before we started the podcast, we started talking about your all-in moment. Kind of, you've been Ponderosa Barbecue. Now it's Moe Cason Barbecue. Yeah. You're building your brand. Yep. You're no longer working full-time.
Yep. I'm working full-time. I'm working for Moe Cason.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, how's that? How's that transition been?
It's been great. brought in a great team called Verge out of San Francisco, and then Greta sitting across the table from us. Awesome woman, smart as all get out, and she's going to help Moe Cason brand and take it to the next level. More than what I can ever do. Mm-hmm. More than I can ever do.
Got to have a team.
Got to have a team. And I've always been by myself. And so just talking with her and her direction and her experience, she's got great experience. She was at Procter & Gamble. She was at Gap Inc. She is the truth.
It's really good that
she's going to take me. She's going to take me to the next level. Because you know what? What does Moe Cason want to do? Moe Cason want to have his 4 kids and his wife sitting on the beach. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. Yep.
Well, it's really, really good that you're allowing yourself to get out of your own way, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like for me, social media, all that stuff's not my forte. Like, you know, I'm just kind of a grunt worker. I like to work with my hands. I like to do the stuff, and doing all those things. I have, you know, Corey, and if I'm the best person at everything that I do around the store, I'm doing something wrong. I got to have people that are better than me.
You're damn right. There's an old saying that my family told me.
Yeah.
If you're the smartest thing in that room, get out of that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the next room.
Yeah. So you
because if you're the smartest thing in that room, you need somebody. You need to go out and you need to get somebody else because you ain't gonna get no growth.
Right.
You've got to get people that are smarter than you. That's going to help you elevate you.
So good for you for doing that, man. That's awesome. Because sometimes it's hard. It's hard to let go. For me, it's been very hard to let go. And now that I've done it, it's like so liberating. It's so liberating. Like, man.
She bounces off ideas off of me, and she is so smart because she's been in the business.
But it has to be authentic still.
She understands Moe Cason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be sitting there putting on tutus and selling ketchup. You know what I'm saying? That's not me.
Well.
You know what I'm saying? That's not me.
We'll see what time, if we can do that. We'll get you some tutus and some ketchup.
No, that ain't happening, son. That ain't happening.
Well, we do want to thank you very much for coming out here for America's Finest Barbecue Championship.
I'm looking forward to it.
We hope that this is an annual thing that we get to see you every single year.
It's Moe Neighbor Stopping Grounds, man.
For Derek and I, it's, you know, barbecue family. That's why we're friends. I mean, that's literally, you know, as a restaurant owner that turned into a barbecue restaurant, I came to him and asked him to sponsor our amateur barbecue contest, which, if it wasn't for Gene, we wouldn't have that, and we wouldn't even be sitting here today. So, I mean, that barbecue family, runs so deep for both of us. And the one shout out that we do want to give is to Tom, who owns Excalibur Cigar Lounge over in Claremont.
Yes.
Him, as well as Cali Comfort Barbecue, we've both been advertising on sports radio here in San Diego for the last 10 years. And when you were coming into town, Derek and I wanted to get you a welcome to San Diego gift. We needed a cigar.
It's lovely.
We went to our man and said, "Hey, this is your field. You hook us up." And I
appreciate it. As soon as I walk out of this building, I'm gonna fire it up.
Boom.
That's right.
It's like that.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time. We know you're busy. Good luck.
I'm just looking for it. That's it again. I'm thankful to be out here in San Diego. Beautiful cook-off and cooking the contest. And like I said, it don't get no better. You're cooking barbecue and you got the ocean in front of you. Come on.
That's right. That's right. Well, we appreciate it, and we'll put all the links to all your social sites. Please follow Big Moe Cason and tweet at him, send him Instagram, and hey, let's have a great time this weekend.
Man.
Hey guys, this is Sean and Derek, and we just really want to thank you for listening to the podcast. It means the world to us. We'd like you to go check out behindthesmokemedia.com. That's our website where we have barbecue resources for you to help build your barbecue business. We also have events listed, so anything that's happening in the West Coast barbecue movement, anything that's going on, we want you to go check that out so you can learn more and get involved. We also have show notes from all the episodes, so anything we talked about in the episodes, you can find detailed show notes there. Plus, you can just get in touch with us. It's important that we're here as a resource for you. So please reach out. Let us know how Derek and I can help you with your barbecue journey. Get involved, stay curious, and follow us on social at Barbecue War Stories. We'll talk to you soon.